Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
In today's video, we're going to share with you some TikTok meals that we made this week.
All the information for the recipes will be linked down below.
And if you don't already, consider following us on TikTok and share with us recipes you'd like us to try in future videos.
Alright, let's get to cooking. Sunday, and we are having cheesy steak and street corn crunch wraps tonight for dinner. And we got the recipe from Cooking in the Midwest. Justin loves the crunch wraps from Taco Bell, and when I saw this one and it was like a different take on it, we thought it sounded really good and we were excited to try it. Justin has already started to prep some things and getting everything measured out, so we'll show you that now.
We have 4 cups of frozen corn, we have our tostada, we've got our oil, we have half a cup of mayo. This is about 2 teaspoons of a variety of seasoning, which includes chili powder, cayenne, cilantro. Did I say cumin?
No.
Salt and pepper. So that is ready to go there in the handy dandy little dish. And then I'm getting ready to slice up the steak to have it handy and ready. And then I get a half a cup of the queso fresco and a half a cup.
It said to use Chihuahua cheese, but we couldn't find that. So we're just going to use this Mexican style.
And I need a half a cup of the chopped cilantro as well. And I've got the cast iron skillet here with oil in it. We have to cook it on medium heat.
We have our tortillas. These are only if we need them. They're also for another recipe, so.
And they definitely will not go to waste in my house. 1 lime.
And here's the steak that we got.
I'm just going to slice that up real good. And you want it to be, we got the thin slice, but I'm going to strip them, and that should be good. And pretty much everything, except for the steak,
we got it at
Aldi. And we do all most of our shopping at Aldi anyway. Start with an apron to keep your trendy duds clean. I'm going to slice some steak. Kelly is finishing uploading another video while I'm working on that, and then we'll come back in.
Everybody voted that they wanted it tonight instead of tomorrow.
We got this kind of Spanish rice from Aldi. Never seen it there before. We're gonna try it. We get Nor or whatever the branding. Yeah. So we're gonna give it a shot. The cooking instructions are exactly the same.
It smelled really good.
It smells the same. Normal, it's what, 2 cups of water? 2 cups of water, you put the rice in, you bring it to a boil, then you cut it back to a simmer, put the lid on, 7 minutes. We're going to give it a shot, so we'll let you know if it is just as good as the other. And like I said, we do most of our shopping at Aldi anyway, so we just went in Rome, pick up stuff. These are slicing up really, really good. They're making like the perfect little thing that we were looking to make on that. I'm going to put everything in here. I'm going to give it a little stir in. And what we're going to do is, I do have a flat top grill, but because I don't have any of that prepped, we're going to be using the cast iron skillet inside. And I'm going to start with corn, because I can't do the corn and the steak at the same time. So we are going to start with the corn, do this on there, and then we'll switch into the steak. That rice is looking really good. Looks like it smells like the other stuff. It's looking really good. And it's got 3 minutes left before we cut that heat back and move it to the back. We're not quite hot yet, I can tell by looking at that. So I'm going to give it a second here. We'll dive right in. The skillet is ready to go. So let's get this corn thrown in. You want to brown the rice just a little bit and let it get golden brown.
Like street corn.
Yeah. We've got that cooked down. It's no longer frozen. So we're going to add, now that it's all softened up, a little part of our seasoning, but we want to save the majority actually for the steak. We're looking pretty good here, and I'm going to pull that off and put it back into the container that it was in, and I have the queso fresco, the half a cup of mayo, the half a cup of cilantro that I cut up, and that lime juice. It's all going to go into that corn and mixed up in them. So after I get it out of here, I am going to get the steak ready to go in, and then we'll probably prep that corn. You guys ever do TikTok recipes or anything? I think some of our most favorite recipes we've ever used came off of TikTok. A lot of good stuff on there. So we're going to be doing these TikTok recipes for a week here.
I have really high hopes for this one.
this one we couldn't wait to try. This is the first one we did. Although all of the recipes that we picked look fantastic.
Yeah. We did all different kinds of stuff. Different meats, and one of them's even meatless, I think.
And when you follow these pages, like, I know it's always a hard part of trying to pick what you want for dinner and what to make. It made it really easy to be like, oh, here's some things that I think you'll like, and when they come up on there, I mean, we can't help but look at them and think, man, those look good. Takes all the guesswork out of dinner, and as long as you can get everything at Aldi, you're in good shape.
Yeah, pretty affordable usually.
I think I'm going to say a lot of these things that the guy does, I think they're under $10 or something like that.
That's a different one.
That's a different one.
That's good. And it's good.
It's done and good, she said. So let's pull it and throw it in the thing. I've got the corn out and moved over to the side. Let's get that steak thrown in here. We did much more of the corn because we want it at his side as well. And that rice that we did is also going to be on the side. It's not on it, so. I gotta tell you what, that corn is good just the way it is. If that's any indication of this meal, it's going to be great. A little trick for a lime to get the juice. Give it a good rolling. Then when you cut that baby in half and you squeeze it, you're going to get all that juice out. Alright, that steak looks like it's just about done, and I don't want to overdo it, so let's get it out of here and into the clean bowl.
Alright, we're at assembly, so Justin is going to get these assembled, and then they're going to go in that hot cast iron over there. So it's the cheese.
Ta-da!
And the steak. Tostada.
Tostada.
Yummy, yummy corn. Little flour.
Little flour. And then fold it in. Fold it in. Fold it, fold it, fold it in.
Breaking tostada. Gonna help you in any way.
Okay.
All together.
Gotta be real careful.
Don't burn yourself. Alright, we got it all plated up. Here's my plate. In full transparency, the first two did not do as well as this one. Because the recipe didn't tell you to put cheese after the second flour tortilla. The cheese is what kind of holds the tortilla together. So you can see on this one that we did try to put the cheese on after the fact, and it did help a lot more than
this one. The pan was a little hot, so I should have said turn the pan off altogether because the cast iron holds the heat. So turn it off entirely. I actually like burnt toast and things. I wouldn't say that that's burnt. It probably tastes good. They're not very pretty, but they'll taste good, I'm sure.
But if you put just a little bit of cheese on this side, then it adheres it.
It creates
So
a feel.
really, at this point, that's the only critique we have of the recipe. It took us about an hour from starting prepping to sitting down. It would go quicker if you had the flat top, because you could be working on multiple things at once. Additionally, you know, you have to allot extra time whenever you don't know what you're doing for a recipe.
Also, the recipe, the meal that the man did didn't have the rice in the recipe, so like we had
that was
additional
extra
prep time for rice. However, this corn is fantastic by itself.
It makes a lot of corn. Just if you follow the recipe,
You could cut that in half. You could do 2 cups of corn, and you'd be fine.
Which all the recipes will be linked in the description.
Yeah. Make adjustments if you need, but that corn,
Delicious.
that's gonna be a great side all the time. So it's not like any of that will ever go to waste. Really, really good corn.
Very delicious.
It's about Aldi rice.
Oh, good.
That's fantastic.
Really, really good.
That's the same. Good.
All right, to the main event. Cheers.
Cheers.
I really like that.
I'm liking it so far. I think the guy that did it said that it took him, what, a half hour or something to...
Yeah, maybe.
If you knew what you're doing ahead of time, and it could be quick.
Yeah.
I don't even think I would...
I can't think of... Other than adding the cheese on the top, there's nothing I would change to this. It's
The only thing that I would experiment with is on the bottom layer where we put the cheese, doing like a nacho cheese, like Taco Bell does. Put the nacho cheese in the steak, and then put the shredded cheese on the top of the corn, around the top of that tortilla, to help
That would be good.
create that barrier.
It would give it a little spice. Delicious. We'll come back to when we're finished with a final rating. Final thoughts on the cheesy steak and street corn crunch wraps. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars.
Oh yeah, if we're only rating it at up to 5, I think a 5 for sure.
Yeah, I really would not change anything other than just that extra little sprinkle of cheese to kind of hold everything together. I wouldn't change anything about it. We will definitely be eating this again.
Great flavor all the way around. Steak was not tough.
You can't go wrong with this one. Definitely good.
Alright, it is Monday. We are prepping this meal. Is called Bourguignon spinach and sun-dried tomato orzo bake. It sounded really, really good. It's super easy to make. And this recipe comes from Sammy Montgom. Looks like it takes about 20 minutes total to whip up, which is perfect, because we are also doing a side of asparagus with it. That also takes about that amount of time. So the first thing we have to do is preheat the oven to 425. So I have the oven heating, and now I have to prep the asparagus, and then everything else is going to get thrown into. We're going to be using this here Dutch oven. When it comes to any type of pasta type bake or anything that you do in the oven, I'm a big fan of these because in her recipe she used like a casserole dish and then she put foil over it. But with this, you put the lid and everything right on the Dutch oven, cooks it right there. So I'm a big fan. Here are all the delicious ingredients. And again, we do a lot of it from Aldi. However, they do not have bourguignon or orzo.
Or the sun-dried tomato.
Or the sun-dried tomato. So we did have to get those elsewhere.
This one is a meatless meal. And also, she did smoked white cheddar. We're just going to use mozzarella instead, just because that's what we have.
Alright, my usual prep instructions for asparagus. If you watched the last video where we cooked, you saw the process for that. So we're just going to do it. I think I'm really going to like this meal because everything is, dumped into one pot, and the asparagus and everything all cooks about the same amount of time. So you just put it all in and just cut it and forget it. Again, I don't want to mess up my duds, so I gotta put my apron on. I forgot. Kelly's going to shout the recipe over to me here. Not shouting per se, but she's going to tell me what goes in. We're starting with the bourguignon. And you put that beautiful baby just right in the middle. 2 cups of orzo, which Kelly just told me this whole box is 2 cups. So easy peasy. So you sprinkle it around town. So we purchased these sun-dried tomatoes. They're already julienned, so we don't need to dice them up or nothing. So we're just going to go ahead and remove them with the fork and sprinkle it around town as well. Save your oil. They had to do, what, 1 cup of the...
Yeah.
This is pretty close to a cup. I love sun-dried tomatoes, so we're just going to probably end up using this whole jar. So I've got my cloves of garlic here. I got to prep these. I'm going to put that garlic right on top of that cheese right there, the cheese nib. Take that garlic and put it right there. So next we're going to add all the love to this. We got oregano, red pepper flakes, and basil. They give you measurements.
And salt and pepper.
And salt and pepper. But they give you measurements, but, we'll eyeball it and see what we love.
Yeah, normally it's like a half teaspoon of the pepper flakes, the basil, and the oregano, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper, but we
like what we like. Pepper. And now we add the 4 cups of veggie stock. Her large pan that she used in the video looked interesting. Like with the Dutch oven, and Kelly was reading some of the comments, and it may take a little longer because of the container sheet being so big. This actually covers it so well, covering it a lot better. So I think that that's going to help it to cook better too, and a little more evenly all the way around. We're not going to waste that oil, so we're going to go ahead and add that extra flavor in there. We're going to cover it with our handy dandy lid.
Or you could use foil.
You can use foil if you don't have the lid, or if you prefer the foil. I have done other pasta just with the lid and everything, and I think that they work out just well. And then this goes in for 10 minutes. And then you take it out and stir it to check it. And it's going to go back in for 10 more, right?
I don't know that it goes back in for 10. It goes back in for a few minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here. So we're going to go ahead and put the asparagus in too. Because I have a feeling that that's going to cook well in that Dutch oven, that I don't think it'll be a big issue. I think cooking is a lot of fun. We can cook together. We can work together to accomplish a delicious goal. Kelly and I both have a background in restaurant type stuff, and I want to cook. I actually was a buffet manager for a while, and I would get up and prep a whole buffet, and I worked in kitchens and prep for quite a while before even serving and things like that. So this is just close to home. It brings me right back in. However, I do enjoy it a lot more now that my work isn't dependent on it. You know what I mean? And with owning the shop and being able to work together, we're able to actually prep earlier or get food together earlier. So it's not as much of a chore as it ever used to be. But I find that this was really, really easy to do. This is going to be, if you are somebody who hangs with family, you're in a hurry and you need something that like you can just cut it, forget it, and work on homework.
Because especially like it could be even easier if you get like the jarred garlic.
Oh yeah,
then garlic. You have no chopping, no cutting. It's literally assemble it and throw it in the oven.
And I love when it's one dish.
Yeah, that makes it nice.
Because yesterday it was a little more of a production. It was delicious, loved it.
Worth it.
But this is like playing to our strength. All the pros for this one so far: quick to make, cheap to make, easy, all one pot.
Not the cheapest.
I think we have some that are cheaper.
But
stay tuned.
And the more expensive, like the cheese and the sun-dried tomatoes, they kind of balance out because there's no meat in it.
All right.
So
because the Borgen cheese,
it's pretty spendy unless you catch it on sale. Sometimes they'll do it buy one get one free. So if you catch that, that'd be great.
But this is a good meal. I think the whole family will enjoy it. There's not a part in it that I don't think is delicious, so I think we'll be all right with it. So there's the first dinner bell. That 10 minutes went by really, really quick. I'm gonna take first look.
Some people were saying that they put the lid off. They like uncovered it for a little while.
Should I give it a stir?
I wouldn't. Not yet.
Not yet.
There's still a lot of liquid.
I don't know. Normally when I do something like this, I can tell the orzo has plumped a little, but that didn't feel long enough to me.
Yeah.
And so we're just gonna uncover it, put it back in. That bell means we've had the second round here, but it's looking much better. I'm gonna need to stir it now. It's pretty liquidy, but orzo is a pasta. You know, it's gonna absorb it. It needs to be stirred. That cheese needs to be mixed in with it. That's gonna help it to thicken up too.
Yeah, I guess hers is kind of fairly liquidy. It's just more spread out because her pot is bigger. I'm still not sure hers is quite that liquidy, but it's gonna go back in for a little bit here.
So I think we're gonna put it back in for 5 minutes again. See if we can get it solidify a little bit more before we add the final ingredients. So we'll just add it in for a little more. This is something that I feel like in the comments people have said has been an issue.
Yeah.
How the time to get it cooked. All right, this time around, much better. Look at that. That's what we want. We want a thicker, creamier. That looks real good.
Right, now we're gonna add in a cup and a half of cheese, which we're using, as you can see, mozzarella.
Trying to add the wax.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
There we go. Don't leave anybody behind.
And then about 2 cups of spinach. You can do a little more. Spinach wilts up so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good for you.
And then you mix it in.
It didn't actually say to mix it, but you can, I guess.
I feel like I need to give it a little something, honey.
Back in for covered for just a couple more minutes.
All right, first look, and maybe that little last bit of cheese that I put in there, maybe a bit too much. I personally like that texture to it.
But it still looks and smells really,
Smells
really
really good. And it plates up beautifully.
Alright, here we go for the first taste.
I like it.
I think next time I'll do a little less cheese
Mm-hmm.
and a little more seasoning.
I think you're right. It's not bad.
No, it's very good. The flavoring is really good. I just really like I really like seasoned.
I kept it closer to what the recipe called for, but you and I are seasoned people. Like we like it to be a little heavier than that. So that's something in the future we'll look at tweaking it, but this is one of those ones I think we'll keep in our quiver, in our background.
Definitely a little less cheese though.
I didn't want to put that bag back in the fridge.
Yeah, I know.
My bad.
I think I would give it like a 4 out of 5. How about you?
I think I would give it a 3.5 unless I tweaked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like
could agree with that.
Tweaked could be a 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.5 right now, just because.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna change my answer.
I wonder if the smoked cheddar, would make a difference too.
It might have.
Be a little sharper, cut a little differently.
Maybe.
I'm happy with that, but I'm also excited to see what we cook up tomorrow.
All right, we're back. It's another night, another dinner. Tonight we're having Cheddar Bay Biscuit Chicken Pot Pie, and that's from Easy Family Recipes, and it was one of their most popular recipes of 2024.
We'll figure out how popular it is here in 2025.
It says it takes about 40 minutes.
We've got chicken, which is a little bit frozen. I thawed it as long as I could. We're going to boil it.
Yeah, they use rotisserie chicken, but
which is a great thought.
we don't have that. So
but we already have that. Boiling is a really good way to get through with the chicken. We're just shredding it up. For this particular meal, it's not like I'm going to boil chicken and then eat it like it with barbecue sauce. No. Like,
people do that.
for this particular, it's a creamy meal, kind of like a pot pie.
It is, yeah. It's a pot pie instead of crusted, it's Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Okay. Yeah. So for this, boiling that'll be fine. And I put salt in the water because I want the chicken to absorb some flavor too. So like.
Also, it didn't call for salt and pepper, but I think we're gonna want that, right?
Past experience would tell me that salt and pepper is needed for pretty much anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Already got the water boiling, and what do we need to preset the oven?
375.
375, right.
What I'm gonna do is go ahead and mix up the biscuit dough.
Perfect.
So we're mixing this up. So we're gonna take the mix and save the seasoning packet for later because we'll need that. And then to this we're gonna add 3/4 cup of milk and 1/2 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese.
I know we asked a question earlier, but have you guys ever tried this? Because I think it is as true to the real thing you can get. They really did a good job with this stuff.
Good.
And their frozen ones that are pre-made even more.
Yeah.
They're pretty darn good too.
There's our milk. And then we're going to do 1/2 cup of cheese. Okay, now those are in the bowl. Mix it up. Mix it up. That's what it looks like. And this goes on the very top of the casserole at the end. So we're just going to let it sit to the side.
Kelly did a good job prepping that. I don't know why. I am not a big fan of mixing that together. I would much rather cut stuff. So, this is the fun part. I never used to like celery.
Ants on a log?
Never been a fan of ants on a log, which is a shame because I love peanut butter and raisin. But I think I haven't tried it in a while, and you know, I am not opposed to trying something again. As we say with our niece all the time, if you tried it a long time ago, you should try it again. You might like it now. Who knows? Kelly was gracious enough to peel the carrots. We're going to cut these up and put them in. And I know I've said this before, and we're not sponsored by them by any means, but these Henkel knives are, and I've worked professionally in kitchens, are the sharpest like at-home knives I've ever had in my life. We've had these things for years. And
I wish we were sponsored because those knives are the best.
I am still afraid. I am still afraid of them because
Oh yeah.
We only wash them by hand. We take real good care of them, and the block itself has sharpeners to sharpen them. These things are sharp and perfect every single time. I highly recommend it for anybody if you want to get them a gift for a wedding or a new home. Henkel knives are top tier. Weighted good, really good for cutting.
I'll
Definitely
try to link a set similar to ours below.
Take a look. Yeah, because they're the most fun I've ever had in the kitchen.
And
at
Henkel's
home.
knives, if you're watching.
Yeah, hey. Check us out, bro. The next step is 1 onion. Kelly got these things cooking up real nice.
Smells like Thanksgiving in here.
And if you look, I know people don't like to look at boiled chicken, but
I don't like to look at boiled chicken, to be honest.
it got got the white color to it. It's nice and good. You put the fork through it. It's still a little tough yet, so that needs just a little bit longer to get it to a part where it'll pull apart. But that's looking good. 4 or 5 minutes here with the mixture should get it to that point that you're going to want it to be in.
Now we've cooked down the veggies in melted butter for about 5 minutes or so. And so now we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of flour and our seasonings. It calls for poultry seasoning, which we don't have, but we're going to use this beer can chicken seasoning. And some salt and pepper, which it also didn't call for, but that seems a little weird to me. So.
Poultry, beer can chicken, and poultry seasoning, if you ask me.
I also can't find my measuring spoon, so. And then you'll want to cook this for about 1.5 minutes just to cook the flour. This fun fact, did you know the reason that they tell you not to eat raw cookie dough is not because of the eggs, it's because of the flour.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with the flour?
You're not supposed to eat raw flour, I don't really know.
I learned something here today.
I think that's good.
That's really good. You might want a little more. We've been notoriously under seasoned the last few. We might as well do that extra long.
And then we're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. And 1 cup of heavy cream. And you're going to stir those together. And then you're going to let it come to a simmer, and then it's going to simmer for a few minutes to thicken up. After you put in the flour, that'll make it thick. The flour with the butter makes a roux, and then
Everybody's favorite thickening agent. If you want to bring it to a simmer, we're just about there. And then we're going to let that do for a few minutes. We let it thicken up, and it's already thickening. That's good. We're on a good place on that one. Alright, the chicken has been boiled. I'm getting ready to shred it up. And I'm going to use the handheld KitchenAid. We have a big KitchenAid. We have this one. This one is going to be more convenient for this job. And you don't need to put it on any high setting. Like this one's just on low. You just need to make sure you catch the chicken in the right spot, and the beer will do the work.
Now we're going to put the shredded chicken into this mixture. I think it's at about 4 cups.
Probably about what we had in here. And that was 2 chicken breasts.
Then once you have that mixed into your liking, we're going to sort of flatten it out. We're going to do heaping tablespoons of the biscuit mixture all over the top. And then that's going to go into the oven for about 14 to 18 minutes. And while that's going in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and melt half a stick of butter so that I can mix the seasoning packet with that.
We're going to transfer the melted butter. Oh, steamy. Right there, that way Kelly can put the packet in. This flavor packet would make a cheddar bay biscuit what it is, I think.
That and half a cup of cheese you mix it with it. Yeah, this is like a garlicky seasoning. It's real good.
Very, very good.
So that'll get brushed on the top at the end.
Alright, we want to do our peas, and who needs a can opener when you got the hand opener? Oh, look at that. Right off the top. I'm just playing you. I used the can opener and I just put the lid back on the top, you know. Alright. So I put the pea with the juice and all from the can directly in there, and then I'm actually going to add a chunk of butter to it, because we like our buttered. So a few tablespoons of butter. Da-da-da-da-da. And then we're going to throw some salt and pepper on that as well. And then that's going to do that. We let it come to a simmer. Let it get good and hot. And that'll be ready to go. All right. The timer went off for checking this guy out. Wow. Wow. It's bubbling up really good. Kelly's got the brush for that butter. This is going to be really, really hot for sure. It smells really good. I think this butter is really going to add a lot to the flavor and just everything to this dish.
On the seasoning, the garlicky.
And the peas are done in record time, just in time. They look real, real good.
Here we go. First bite. Oh
my goodness.
Holy moly, that's good.
Very hot, but like, it's like everything you would want in like a chicken dinner.
Yeah.
But in one,
oh my gosh.
Easy, convenient.
I love this. And I'm a little weird about chicken.
I know, usually you are. I was surprised you even opted to try this one. But
delicious. 10 out of 10. Wouldn't change a thing.
That is super hot, but that is a win in my book. Well, I mean, we did add... I mean, you add the seasoning to your liking. The only other seasoning we added was thyme.
But that's because that's in poultry seasoning.
We didn't have official
and we didn't have poultry seasoning, so.
Yeah, if you do it, I would say there's probably no changing that are needed. And cleanup is really not even all that bad.
Justin's putting on his apron. You know what that means.
It's day 4 of our TikTok food challenge.
Tonight we're having lemon chicken sheet pan meal, and it's from America Grace. And it says that it's a 30-minute meal. This one's chicken, asparagus, and little potatoes. So we're gonna get started. Alright, this is my new hat that I got from our friends Caitlin and Cam. So thank you for that. I love this hat, but we're gonna turn it around because we're doing business here. We're conducting business. Kellen's gonna tell me what we need for this recipe, and then we're going to just... $4.25.
$4.25.
Alright. 1/4 cup of oil in the bowl.
1/4 cup of oil. In this bowl.
Yes.
With this thing, you can use the sprayer, or you click this little button, pop, I can pour the amount of oil that I need. This thing is a handy little gadget.
And while he does that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the asparagus ready.
For the sake of all things, I am measuring that quarter cup. Just, you know.
Oh, she doesn't measure anything else.
There we go.
The juice of lemon.
The juice of lemon, the entire?
Yes.
Right into that oil.
Right into there.
And again, we're going to do that little trick that we did with the lime the other day. We're going to roll that. Because that's going to make all your juice just like jump out of the lemon. Ready to go. And now, people, I've seen somebody trying to use one of these ones, and they were trying to put it in with the direction of the thing. It actually goes this way to optimize your juice retrieval. Oh my gosh, we almost have an entire cup of lemonade. And now we are down to
a squeeze of Dijon.
A squeeze.
It's like it was a pretty good squeeze.
People's measurements and squeeze to this and squeeze to that. But luckily, I'm a pretty... Oh man, that smells good. Again.
Oh, I thought you said that's not good. I was like, oh no.
No, that smells real good. Again, we are using Aldi brand because we shop at Aldi. So there is a good squeeze, if you ask me.
Like a tablespoon-ish, I would say she did.
Whoops.
You did more than that?
I
That's
did.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Salt and pepper. A lot of garlic.
Yeah, we're gonna live a little. So currently, this is what we got in here. We need to add the few final ingredients, and Kelly has got the asparagus lined up. She's cutting the potatoes for the next round here, and then the chicken is going to be here on the end. All right, Kel, what's the next step?
Then I needed salt and pepper. A little bit of this basil paste.
I have found this basil paste to be a very handy item.
I love it. It's so good.
When you're doing pastas or marinara or pestos or anything, it makes it really good to stir in, or it's good if you're like doing something spreadable.
Good.
And you could do a thin layer of that on a pizza crust and then add your marinara stuff on top. The idea are
Endless. The possibilities.
the possibilities are endless.
And you're gonna do oregano and paprika. She does not give measurements.
Nobody likes bland chicken, am I right?
Amen.
I think I overpowered it a little with some of the mustard and stuff.
Yeah, I moved it really. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. I gotta tell you, that smells pretty good. Okay.
And then you just get your chicken out.
Are we dredging?
Yep. Well, just swapping it around. Because isn't dredging when you use flour and stuff?
We're dunking chicken.
Yeah. We're using chicken that we got from Butcher Box, so it's really good chicken. So he doesn't have like a whole lot to mess with.
They do a really, really good job at their prep with that. Honestly, I can't think of, and they're organic. Like, I can't think of a better chicken breast actually anywhere.
So I have the potatoes on here now. Alright, Justin's going to work on getting the chicken. I have the potatoes and the asparagus over here, and I'm going to spray them both with oil, salt and pepper, garlic seasoning. So you could use like garlic powder, but we have this roasted garlic seasoning that we like, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of the asparagus, and then the rest of the marinade we'll probably pour on the potatoes. That's what the lady did.
We probably won't put the whole amount because I did make extra because I got a little heavy-handed. So far, I really like the look of like everything going on here. Lots of nice colors. The only thing missing would be something red. If you have red bell peppers, you could put in between, or some tomatoes. What I would do is I put some of those, you know those, the medleys. They're like the
tomato medleys?
yeah, that are like the multiple color. They have those in Aldi too. A row of them here in the middle, also with some olive oil on them and a little bit of salt and pepper.
That would be good.
And they roast up really good. I wish I would have thought about that. That's all right, though. We're
following the recipe.
Anything else for this?
No. This is it.
There's still some little garlic cloves in there. I should.
A little sprinkle of cheese. And that's ready for the oven. 20 minutes and we will check it out.
We checked after the 20 minutes. The chicken should be temping at 165. We're between 140 and 150, so we are almost there. So I put it back in for another 8-10 minutes here to see what we get with that. But everything smells good, looks really good. The potatoes and the asparagus and everything just looks fantastic. All right, here in the meal, fresh out of the oven, I temped the chicken. We're temping really good there, around 175. And potatoes look good, the asparagus looks good. I think we are ready to eat, so we're going to plate it up and move on to the eating phase.
What are we trying first?
Let's do
the potatoes.
The potatoes.
Yeah, the asparagus is pretty much the same way we do it every time, so. There we go. I like that.
Very good. So I'm going to cut a piece of my chicken off here.
That's really good. Tasty.
That's good. Asparagus is great. Good moist chicken.
It's like a really refreshing.
It's a refreshing flavor. Nothing too heavy on the palate.
Yeah.
So we ended up cooking the chicken for 30 minutes. If I would have thought about it earlier, normally I do butterfly my chicken. Makes it a little quicker to cook, a little easier to handle. Kelly doesn't usually like a full chicken breast and thing, so it's easier to portion up and stuff that way as well. That's probably the only change I'd really make.
Yeah.
Everything else, though, that's probably...
I think I would do just a smidge less mustard.
Okay, yeah, that I would change.
Just because it's a little tangy.
But other than that,
but it's really, really good. The flavors work really well together.
They land on your palate well. They're nothing really over. I mean, the Dijon was a little overpowering this time because you saw what I squirted in there. Anyway, those were the critiques on that, and we will see you tomorrow.
You didn't rate it.
Oh yeah, what are we rating it? Out of 5 stars, I'm giving it a
5.
You're going with a 5? I'll go with a 5.
I like it.
It's all of our favorite things: asparagus, potatoes, and chicken.
Realistically, we're pretty easy to please in the food realm. But the flavor, like when we were picking these things, we knew they would all rate pretty highly, just because
we picked
stuff that we like. We sort of picked things that we knew that the flavors were going to work well together. So, another really good one. And we'll see you tomorrow for the final one.
Woo! Welcome back, guys, to our final of our TikTok meals for dinner here this week. So this is meal number 5, and it is called sheet pan beef tacos with avocado lime crema, and it is from a TikToker named Britta, at Britta Cooks. Now, this looks super duper easy. Now, let me show you some of the ingredients we have here. For that cilantro lime crema, it uses cilantro, a lime, an avocado, a dash of salt, and about 1/4 cup of sour cream, which we are going to put in the magic bullet. That's going to create our crema that's going to get drizzled on top. We have our skillet ready here. So we have our fresh ground beef, chopped up onion, 1/4 cup of tomato paste, about a teaspoon of the cilantro stems, some ripped cilantro that's going to be used as a garnish at the end, and then our taco seasoning, which I can have made here, is going to use 1 teaspoon of chili powder, oregano, salt, cayenne pepper, paprika, garlic powder, cumin, and onion powder. If you can see, I have that lined up in the bowl here. I just have to mix it all up and get it put into the pan. I have my tortillas, my cheese, some olive oil, well, avocado oil, and my pan that is lined with a parchment paper already ready to go. So you preheat your oven to 400, and I'm going to get my skillet here turned on to medium heat, and we'll get that pre-warmed up and get it ready. And the first thing we're going to do, I think, and while we wait for that to heat up a little bit here, and we're going to create our crema. And it seems super duper easy. We're going to take all those ingredients that I had pre-prepped here. That crema looks really, really good, and it smells really, really good, so I'm pretty excited about that. There's a thunderstorm going on, so if you hear any thunder or anything, just don't be alarmed. So what we're going to do now is get this meat started and start throwing in the ingredients here. Go ahead, mix all that together. After we're browned up, we want to throw that tomato paste in. And we'll give that a quick mix around here. We want to put that diced up onion in there. It's about half an onion, but I went ahead and just did a really small onion. I think I had a nice little one, so it actually saved me from having to put half an onion back in the fridge or anything. That already smells good, and I didn't even get that seasoning mixture in here yet. We're going to put those cilantro stems that we chopped up, and now it's time for all that good seasoning. Alright, so now that the meat's done, it really just comes down to the main event, which is getting our tortillas prepped. Let me show you that. But also, we didn't want to waste our food, so we're going to have our leftovers. All the food that we've made quite a bit of food. So all the leftovers we're going to have tomorrow for dinner. But we didn't want to waste the other stuff that we had with the crunch wraps we did. So we have that leftover taco rice and that delicious corn, street corn. So we'll eat the street corn cold, but we're going to get the rice in a dish with a little bit of foil over it and a little bit of water. I'm going to put that back in the oven to cook with this, and that'll get the heat on it. Okay, so we're going to take our little tortilla in here, and you're going to oil both sides of them. I learned that trick from SpongeBob. If you watch the SpongeBob episode where they're doing like the talent show and SpongeBob comes out with a mop and everybody's cheering for him, and all he's doing is mopping the stage in a circular motion, but it gives you good coverage on these. Now we'll put a scoop of that taco meat on here. And Kelly and I did use the smaller tortilla to do like street tacos. But I feel like you could definitely use the big one. You just have to have a pan big enough for the bigger, like, burrito shells. And we have two different kinds of cheese open in the fridge. We have sharp cheddar and we have our Mexican style. And we couldn't decide on which one to use. And since they're both open, we're going to put our taco cheese on the inside. You're going to fold these little fellas over. Then you top off that other side with more cheese, which we're using that cheddar. And now these go in a 400-degree oven for right about 15 minutes. So now what we want to do, we want to put that crema that we made. We want to take a spatula, scoop it out, and I don't have like a bag or a bottle to drizzle it over top of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a makeshift one. We're going to use a baggie. We're going to fill it, and we're going to cut a little end on there. I'll show you that we can use. Consider using a mug to hold your bag up for you. So that's what I do. I tuck the baggie down in that mug, because then you don't have to fight with it. You know what I mean? And another little trick that I learned about a cilantro crema that I used to make at a restaurant I used to work at. You can actually add a little bit of basil in there too. Because not a lot of people like the cilantro flavor, but if you put a little bit of basil, fresh basil leaves in with your cilantro, it's going to cut the cilantro a little bit, but also add another bold flavor. Just a little tip of the trade, but I don't want to leave any behind. Pull that out. Look how beautifully that worked. So what you want to do, seal it up, but leave the end open just a little bit for some air to escape. And you're going to want to do that. Make sure you get it all prepped into the prep area here. And you need to have just a little bit of air coming out the end to create the airflow you want. So we'll just cut the tip off that, and that is going to be ready to go when we're ready to drink them. I'm very curious on how this one's going to taste. But I gotta tell you, I already love it. Cleanup was such a breeze. I've already cleaned everything. What we're gonna have left at the end are 2 plates and 2 little bowls that need to go in the dishwasher. That's it. And if you guys were wondering, Kelly is here with me. She's in the living room. She's editing the video because she wanted to get this up for you quicker. She's editing the previous meals that we did to have this video ready to go. So she's here. She's encouraging us, and she helped me get everything ready. But she's over there working on that. But as soon as this is ready, I'm going to call her over. And there she is, the woman at work, and with her trusty sidekick.
I'm a little scared. It's thunderstorming.
The heavy rain and the thunder and lightning spooked him, but of course he finds comfort right here with his mama. Did you hear that? That's done, baby. So here, how they look out of the oven. They smell good. They're sizzling hot. Cheese and everything's crispy. But let's finish garnishing them, huh? The instructions say to garnish it with that. So I think we're ready. I had a little tiny chunk of avocado. Of course, that didn't break down all the way, so I had to cut the hole a little bigger. So it kind of glopped on, but I still think they look good. So I'm gonna get it plated up here.
First bite. They look great. Really, really good.
That's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super easy.
I like that.
I think if you even wanted to streamline that a little more, all the seasonings we did, we just made our own taco seasoning. You can get a taco seasoning packet. Streamline it, baby. But, wow. It is rating time.
5. Nothing I would change.
It's a 5, and yeah, there's not one thing.
And it was quick. I mean, I wasn't over here helping, but
there's the one thing
it was quick to put it together.
I would do to alter this recipe. This is definitely something one person could make in a hurry.
Delicious.
This is a winner. Wow, what a week! And those were the recipes that we made this week. And which one was your favorite?
Well, I can't decide between the cheddar bay biscuit chicken pot pie and the cheesy steak and street corn crunch wraps. Those were both, I mean, all the meals we had were really delicious, but those two were standouts for me.
If we had to eliminate one of those meals, it would have been the orzo one for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. But
which one was your favorite?
Oh man, I think the crunch wrap one with the street corn, just because I got a lot out of that. The corn was fantastic. The crunch wraps, you know, one of my favorite things at Taco Bell, so very nostalgic for me. Although those tacos with that crema.
Oh yeah, that was good too. Man, they were all good.
That crema recipe, you could keep her. Try that for yourself too.
Make sure you check out all the original creators below and maybe give them a follow.
Then if you happen to follow them and you see that recipe, like we said, shoot it our direction, because we want to continue to try new stuff, you know, and we'll give you our honest opinions on them.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe leave us a comment and let us know if you enjoyed this type of video and if we should continue making videos like this in the future. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. It's free to create an account to do so, and it helps us a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye!